If you have any question, anything to ask, you can ask, then I will move to the next process. Pick up the mic and ask for my attention.
Hi Swamiji, I would like to know more about the dream state, deep sleep, while we are unconscious, lucid dreaming.
You actually project which is not there in the waking state too much. For example, this wood, actually it is wood. Many people can't even touch it. Especially they can't put their hand here. Am I right? It is wood. It is wood. Many people cannot put their hand here. It's not going to become suddenly turn into snake and bite your finger. How many of you agree with what I am saying? You project too much you do too much work and project on reality. So naturally that component of you needs rest. So that component falling into the space of rest is only sleep. Till you reach that sleep state, you continue to do your job. That is dream. You are overactive. Even in the iPad, if it is a touch screen, if there is a snake video going on, you will not put your finger and touch. How many of you have that? Now raise your hand. See, you project so much. See how casually I touched. It will take at least, even if some people try to touch to show their boldness, it takes 2-3 minutes. Am I right? Not. For you. Okay. Only this one. Because you know it is mine. So. Anyhow, you project. I'm just using this example to make you understand in how many places you project. So much of this my world work goes on. So you need rest. That is why you fall asleep. That rest is sleep. And to moving to that place of rest, between you do something, that is dreaming. In the daytime, if the my world load is reduced, dream load will be reduced. Quickly you will rest, fall asleep into the restful awareness. Quickly you will come out. You may not need such long hours of lying on the bed. Most of us are lying on the bed so many hours, but the number of hours we exactly slept is very less. Actually, the number of hours you slept will be less than 1 hour. But in the couch you are lying down for last 10 hours. Every day at least 10 hours you are lying down on your couch or bed. But actual time slept is less than 1 hour. How many of you understand what I understand? That 9 hours is what you do in the waking state. You do the same thing lying down. When this is reduced, that will be reduced. Next. Get the mic and then ask for my attention.
Swamiji here. As soon as this process started, I felt immediately tiredness, both the sessions and...
Tiredness must be one of the biggest blockage in the muscle memory. So that will be just pulled out. Like a wound being opened for the pus to come out. Like that it will be. The scratching will happen. Yes. Get the mic and speak.
When this tiredness comes, should we just sleep or...
When this tiredness comes?
Yeah.
I think that is not the time you should cooperate with your sleep. That is the time you should have more tea, coffee and just keep yourself awake. If any of you have that feeling, please go and have a cup of tea and come back. Or I'll get a cup of coffee. Why don't you get coffee for them? Meda? Tell them to get coffee. Have tea or coffee, but don't sleep. Because if you cooperate, that pattern will become strong. Now I don't think you should cooperate with that pattern.
Swamiji, Annalaya side.
Annalaya side. Okay. Go ahead.
So I had like lower back pain in the morning, and then after the first process, my lower back pain went away, and then I had like upper back pain, and then now I don't have upper back pain. So what is?
I think no, it is Kundalini. It's not pain. If it is moving, it is Kundalini. Because some of the things need to be cleaned up. The Kundalini feels like a pain. Understand? Now it will become all right.
Thank you.
Does your Atma Linga heal yourself automatically, or does...
No. Whenever you need healing, you have to put it on that part and ask for healing, only then it will do it.
Swamiji?
Which side?
Galleria side.
Yes, go ahead.
Something I'd like to understand better. So, from the first time I was in touch with you, we've been learning about how to manifest our reality. And then I was reading the Book of Surrender, which I really enjoyed, and you were talking about making your will in tune with the divine will. And I'm trying to reconcile those two.
And that and this is one and the same.
Sorry?
That and this is one and the same.
So how do they...
See, now, even for surrender you need certain maturity. That work also I myself doing.
Sorry?
I myself doing, making you matured even to surrender.
Okay. So does then my will become the same as the...
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Swamiji, she says that in the morning process, she felt a pain in the throat and her back was hurting a lot.
It is actually the Kundalini only. I'll remove the pain. Don't worry. Go ahead.
I just had a pretty intense experience in my mother's womb. And I had this sense of just sadness of actually being in my mother's womb, and that maybe I was unwanted and unplanned. Maybe she had depression during that pregnancy, I don't know. But maybe some of those emotions are in me still, so how do I break through from that?
I'll pull them out in this process, don't worry.
And then my other question was, so a lot of my childhood was, there's a lot of emotional pain. Would I have, I guess that's planned to some degree coming into this lifetime, and why?
I'll clear that also.
Just why would I have chosen that as a childhood?
There's no answer for this why.
Okay.
Let's solve it.
Okay.
All right. You guys have a still question, or shall I move to the next?
Swamiji, I have one question. Whatever intentions we wrote down for the muscle memory possibilities, will it happen gradually or when?
No. Actually, I am awakening your bioenergy so much. Now I am making the channel on your muscles. Then now I am going to make the channel on your biomemory. Then again and again I will be awakening the bioenergy last 3-4 days. When that happens, it will not be step by step, it will be sudden. So many things which you wrote, it will all be sudden. Suddenly you will realize, if you see the Nithyananda participants' experiences, they say, I never thought I can even bend and touch my knees. Now I am just simply standing upside down. It will all be sudden only. Now as and now I am just making the roots, that subtle grooves in your system through which the bioenergy can enter into the whole system. So every second I am making you sit here, I am only forming those grooves. It is called awakening the intelligence in Sanskrit. Awakening the work. So once the work is done, it will always be sudden, never gradual. See, this process I am doing only is gradual. The result is always sudden. Understand? But the process I am doing is gradual. So today more, today again little more, today again little more. Again I will be asking you to write on your biomemory. The cognition shift cognitive shift which you wanted. About that I will ask you to do like that.
Swamiji, I hate to ask this question, but let me ask you. Will there be exceptions?
Don't worry, you are not exception. That is why you are sitting next to me. I am holding your hand and taking you along with me. Clear?
I would like to ask about third eye again. You see, I'm so fascinating about that thing, and I would like so much to have the experience of how it is to be able to read full paragraphs of texts. I changed my attitude. I am really looking forward each and every session.
Okay, don't worry. You are putting your effort, that's enough. I'll do the rest. I will make you read. I'm not giving you false promise. I give you the real promise with integrity. I'll make it happen.
I'm not worried about your false promises. I'm just thinking about what I do wrong.
See, there are some things. Now I can explain what you do wrong, but that will put you so much doubt. It will delay my process on you. Just relax, I'll do it. I'll really do it. See, now if I explain, you will fall into such space, again raising you out and making you do the third eye is my responsibility only. My work becomes more difficult. Relax. But I'll really make you do. Because, you see, it is not about giving you any false hope. Making you express these powers is my mission. It's about my fulfillment more than your fulfillment. I'll do it.
Swami, even I had the same thing, like apart from letters or few words, I'm not able to read anything and not able to focus completely into them. So
It's all started in a few days now. I'll make it happen. How casually people say, just apart from letters and words, I am not able to read paragraphs. Do you know the number of years people have to do tapas? Even this much of Kundalini becoming alive and active and functioning. We'll do it. And anyhow, after all, your success is my success. I'll do it.
Swamiji, on earlier side.
See, end of the day, now it is my only job is to break your self-doubt and self-hatred, self-denial. That is where I am just hitting.
Swami, stateside. Ma Jnanatma told us about tomorrow's that special event of the celebration of the Meenakshi's
marriage.
Yes. And one of the things she said was that if you want to do completion with your spouse, that is an opportunity to participate in that. So my question is, how if the spouse is not very open to the
one thing, listen. Even if that person is not open, there are some of the traditional Indian ritual who influences the person to come to completion.
Okay.
Because tomorrow it is not some energy play. Those gods are beings. You can request them. You can ask them. They respond to you. Understand?
So during the puja, I just ask.
Ask Devi. Give this as a priority to her. My priority is just like how you are in the space of completion with Mahadeva. Bring that space between me and my spouse. Understand? It is not statue. It is a God. Deity. He expresses. She expresses. So when you give your priority as a prayer, they respond to it. I have seen tons of miracles performed when you know they are God's beings here and you talk to them, you relate with them. How many people get literal answer from our Dakshinamurti, you know? Go and talk to him. He will straight give answer. Just like how you actually talking to me is more difficult. Talking to him is much easy. No, really. Go and talk to him. He will simply answer. He lives here. Understand?
That's the other question, that for years I didn't know about, though I was born a Hindu Brahmin, I didn't realize what the deities meant. And so for years...
Just now I gave example, na?
Yeah. So finally when you explained all these things over the few years, I've been understanding. But I haven't...
You see, if you see me how I behave in front of deities, learn from that.
So even if I...
The moment I turn to the main stage, thousands of you worship me as God. But the moment I turn towards the deity, how I behave, just see.
So I don't need to feel the energy all the time or anything like that.
You should just know the being. Mahadeva, Meenakshi, all of them are beings. They happen in the deity, express, to receive your love, respect, reverence, your prayers, and respond to it.
Yes, thank you so much.
The problem is, it is not, you see, this is one of the biggest problem the modern day humanity is facing. They think everything is just wiring. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So I was listening to myself when I was asking this question, but I keep spending my money on spiritual endeavors, whether it's like a spiritual tool, another spiritual tool, Rudraksha, and then this course. And doing this has like broken down and is still like making me complete with my wealth or my money and my situations I've created for myself. And when things are offered like this ceremony, like I'm already in the negative, but like I could go more negative. So, but then at some point I want to just have the empowerment that I can manifest this without just so much.
So you can declare, it is not, you see, for you to break this pattern, it is not necessary you have to spend money. Sit with the deity and directly declare. Put this as your priority. You will see you manifest money. You don't have to spend money to talk to the deity and put this as your priority. You understand? Dakshinamurti is all the time available. Here Mahadeva is all the time available. Every break you can just go and sit with them. Declare this as your priority. Understand?
Well, the priorities, I think it's enlightenment. Enlightenment, not money.
What I am saying, even you can say that enlightenment is first priority. This is second priority. You can tell them. It's not that they don't fulfill second priorities. You understand? It's not that they don't fulfill second, third priorities. You can give your whole laundry list, they will fulfill. Understand? See, because they make themselves available to planet Earth just to fulfill us. Understand?
Swamiji, a question. My wife here, and I'm going to do the sponsor the ceremony tomorrow, get blessings, and it says that completion, you will do the completion for us.
I'll do it. My blessings. Tatast.
Thank you, Swamiji.